costumed interpretation, which I would say is what we do, is somebody in costume as a character in first person, speaking as if they are the captain of the ship in this occasion, or Mary Queen of Scots, or Mrs. Burns, or whatever. So that they stay in role and they answer questions, or they talk to the people. We do what we call, the method we use a lot is interpretive conversation. They might do a presentation, but it's more likely that they will do interpretive conversation. Costumed conversation it's not difficult. You're just having a conversation with a person. You just happen to be dressed as Queen Victoria, Mary Queen of Scots, a servant, whatever. And you know your stuff. You know, you have to have all the information. And if you don't have it, it's not, you know, nobody can know everything. So you just have to admit that you perhaps don't know the answers, but you might be able to point people in a direction. First person interpretation is when you're delivering it as the person. Third person is when you say, well, here I am dressed as the sea captain, and if I was in the year 1912, I would just be getting ready to set out on a voyage to the Azores or something like that. So that you're talking about it and you've got a bit more freedom. Now, the thing about first person interpretation is that some people do take it very literally. Now, we in our company do not go down the route of not being able to tell people where the toilets are. Because let's face it, we all know it is somebody dressed up. Nobody really believes it really is Mary Queen of Scots, or it really is a sea captain, or it really is Jean Armour Burns. We all know that it's a game. One of the huge disadvantages of costumed interpretation is if you decide to do a costumed walk. Because there is nothing you can do about traffic lights, airplanes, buses, cars, or anything else. So I would recommend that if you are going to do some kind of costumed walk, that you do it in third person. You know, this is how Mrs. Grant, I'm Mrs. Grant there, this is how Mrs. Grant would have dressed when she lived in this lovely house here in Charlotte Square. And she would have seen such and such, and she would have done this, and if you like to look at this building, well, you see a television aerial, so that wasn't there. So that, you know, you can't get round the fact that there are modern intrusions. So it's better to just ignore that and go into a third person mode. Right, this is not costumed interpretation. And unfortunately, one sees this an awful lot. But this isn't in this country, so I can be rude about it. So the idea here obviously is that they're trying to push some entertainment. They've put them in something vaguely resembling a costume. One of them is on a mobile phone. The other one, you can see the badge of their work there. And they're not at all interested in anybody passing by or interpreting or engaging with them. And I still get people phoning up and asking if I can provide a Mary Queen of Scots to hand out leaflets. I had that just the other day. And I never let any of my interpreters hand out leaflets, because that is not the point of costumed interpretation. And let's face it, Mary Queen of Scots would not have handed out leaflets.